So recently I've been thinking how crazy it is that I've been living in the Philippines for over 5 years now. When I first moved here, I didn't think I would last a month. So this video, I wanted to think about where I was in 2009 and how I got to here in the Philippines in 2019. So in 2009, I was your standard, still kind of fresh out of college kid. Wasn't sure what I was gonna do with my life. I had a job, but I kind of hated it already. And I just didn't know what was going on. But here came in February Street Fighter 4. And originally I bought it because I just wanted to get more games for my PS3 that I wasn't using. And I decided to jump online. And I thought the classic, jump roundhouse, low roundhouse technique would still work and scrub me out some wins. But needless to say, I got washed pretty quickly. Anyway, I started jumping around YouTube and I found videos from I Play Winner, on 1up.com at the time. And then I found out about this crazy GameStop national tournament and that there was arcades in SoCal playing the game. So a few months later, I went to EVO 2009. I actually kind of dressed it up as your usual college road trip, get drunk in Vegas with friends thing. But I went there on the first day and I only planned to go there that day. And I think I saw a West Coast versus East Coast exhibition and I was hooked. So I went there every single day. I spent all day there. It was probably powered by Four Loko as well. But that last day when I saw Justin versus Daigo at the end, that crazy grand final, I was like, wow, I really got to get into this. So I decided to put some time into becoming a better player. I started going to practice sessions. I started going to the arcade, reading up guides, learning combos. I still picked kind of like a scrub character with Balrog, just mashing jab. But this all kind of came to a head when I started going to Wednesday night fights. At that time, it wasn't the tournament that it is now. It was just people coming to meet for casuals. Anyway, it just became like a friends hangout. So Valle kind of wanted to put some stakes on the line and they introduced ban matches. And basically ban matches were if you lost too many casuals, you played a ban match, and if you lost that, you couldn't come to Wednesday night fights until you got top 8 at a tournament. Needless to say, I got in those ban matches and I was banned from Wednesday night fights. And I think technically I still am, but I think they unbanned everyone a while back. But the real thing that caught my eye that night, aside from all the shame and disappointment, was that it was streamed. At the time, AJ Papa was doing Get Your Tournament and he was streaming the night and he was putting a bunch of memes. I think I got the Survivor song. I don't think there's any footage of it left, but I was really intrigued with the streaming because I had been doing DJing and audio production and trying to learn how to make sick Kanye West beats. And this whole streaming setup was really interesting to me. And that really changed the whole crazy thing for me. So I decided to try and figure out how to do a stream setup. And at that time, there wasn't a lot of information on the fighting game websites about how to stream. There was a quasi guide from AJ, and then I Play Winner actually put a really comprehensive guide, but they ended up taking it down because you really didn't share your tech at that time because people were trying to make money off this already. But anyway, I saw that guide. I picked all the items on it, put it on Amazon, applied for a credit card. Thank you, car loans and student loans, for giving me good credit for me to get that all equipment. And then when I got the equipment, I spent a lot of time figuring out how it works. And my thing is that there was only DSL connections at the places I was at. So I had to make a stream work on really crappy internet connections, which became a useful skill. But my whole thing was if I made $2 from streaming after 2 years of doing it, then I'd be a really happy person. But very soon things were about to change. So once I got comfortable with my streaming skill set and my setup and I knew I could make it work in different situations, I actually started looking for local tournaments that would need a broadcaster that I could ask to broadcast. And I found this one random tournament in Orange, California. It was at a card shop, but it was unique because it had $1,000 prize pool. And at that time, $1,000 for a fighting game tournament might as well have been $1 million. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go here. Maybe there'll be some good players that are coming out for the money. So I messaged them on Shoryuken at the time. They said I could come. And I remember it was funny because when I got there, they were like, okay, well, we can't pay you. And I was like, oh, you don't need to pay me. I just want to stream it and put stuff on my YouTube. You're like, you don't want money? I'm like, nah, just let me do it. Exposure bugs, sometimes they work. I don't know. So I set up my setup and some players came in. It looked like it was going to be a low turnout. Then all of a sudden, all these killers showed up, like Mike Ross, Online Tony. All these good players came and started playing, and I was streaming it. And I remember my stream graphics were some really crappy word art, clip art that I used because I didn't know how to use Photoshop. but the stream was running and you could watch it. It was on a DSL connection. And I remember, because all these random players were here, some high profile people actually tuned in. So I remember Alex Valle was actually watching the stream, and he commented like, hey, wow, this is, decent quality. I'm like, yeah, I'm on DSL. He was like, oh crap. And Valle kind of took me under his wing and he said, hey, would you like to do Wednesday Night Fight stuff? And I was like, yeah, sure. So during that time, I saw that Arcade Infinity had unlocked Oni Akuma and Evo Ryu. They found it out on the code in the arcade. I think they actually got it from Chinatown Fair. And everyone was going over there to try the characters because they weren't supposed to be released yet. So I went over there, and I remember I had used the Rinky Dink Justin TV app, and I streamed my phone just looking at the arcade machine. And I remember I immediately hit the cap. So Justin TV at those days had a 2,500 viewer cap. And then after that, they would like kick out international viewers. So I would see people tweet me asking to be mods so they can make sure they could watch the channel. That's actually how I got to know Ali from Shadaloo, and I think Boss Logic as well. And so that stream really blew up. The thing is that the Capcom ban hammer came down, and I don't know how I got lucky, but my channel didn't get hit. And also I deleted the videos right away. I remember Pikachu Akuma actually got his account copyright struck and taken down for a bit. Anyway, I think like on the third or fourth Wednesday Night Fights that I did, I was actually approached to get Justin TV partnership. This is when they were just building the Justin TV gaming program, which eventually became Twitch. So I was like one of the first Twitch partners. And I remember I was so like apprehensive of hitting the ad button. Like to me, that was like the cardinal sin. No one wants to see an ad. Now I kind of wish I would have been more into doing the ads and getting subscriptions. Like there wasn't even subscriptions on the site yet. So as time went on, I got a lot of connections through doing Wednesday Night Fights. I got shout outs from Spooky. I got to know the I Play Winter crew. I had better overlays made. And eventually it culminated into doing the EVO 2011 side stream. This was the first year that EVO was going to have a side stream. And through that, I was able to get some opportunities with the Canada Cup. And then I got a really big opportunity to go to Australia to do Shadaloo Showdown. But also I was kind of thinking, okay, what's next for me? What's my career? I actually tried for about a month just to be a streamer. But since Wednesday Night Fights was just once a week, I remember I had a car tire blowout on the freeway, and it cost like $400 to replace it. And that was like my 1 month check from stream revenue. And I was like, okay, I got to go back to my job. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what can I do with this streaming thing? This is taking up all my time. It's definitely cost me a lot of money. Let's hopefully make this work. I'm making a little bit of cash. I know a lot of people know me. Let's see what happens. And it all kind of came together towards EVO 2013. So EVO 2013, I was really excited because I knew that I was working on the main broadcast team. Like I was working on the main stage, doing the finals, doing all the big stuff. So I saw a position for XSplit and I applied for it. And I didn't ever think I'd hear anything back. But sure enough, like a few days later, I got an email and I did an interview. And I was like, well, that went okay, And then a few days later, I got an offer for a job. And then I had to move to the Philippines to work at XSplit. Now, needless to say, I hated my job so much, they could have sent me anywhere and I probably would have went. But I was super excited and I immediately accepted, and I was going to be moving to the Philippines a month after EVO in August. So EVO 2013 was a blast. The finals were great, but also it was kind of like the end of the era, end of the season for me, because I was going to the Philippines afterwards. I said bye to a lot of people that I had met over the years, and I went to the Philippines. And let me say, working at XSplit was a crazy experience. I can't summarize it all in one video. That might be something else in the future. But through XSplit, I got to travel to so many more places, like the UK. I went to London, which I'd always wanted to go to all my life. Got to go back to Japan again, went to Thailand, went to Korea, Singapore, so many different countries that I never thought I'd get a chance to visit or it would take all my life to do. And yeah, I've grown and gained so many more skills now at XSplit. I've done things that I never thought I'd be able to do and taking on projects and stuff that just seems crazy to think about now. I think I would have been so intimidated if I had to do these when I was younger. But I think streaming was something that really kind of, there's so many things that can go wrong with streaming. There's a term, streaming is a blow up, and it's true because no matter how perfect you think you have the setup going, it just something weird happens and something goes wrong and you have to scramble and make it work. And I think that skill set with just making it work however you can with whatever you have possible really prepared me for my career so far, because so many things are like, what do we do? I don't know. All right, let's figure it out. We got this, we got this, we got this, and we got to put it together. But more than that, I just really want to say, like, if you're not sure what you want to do in life, you change so much in a few years, but also there's things like debt and stuff that you got to take care of right away. So it's good to go to college and definitely make the use of it, networking and meeting people that can be valuable later in life or even currently. But really, you just want to absorb as much knowledge as you can, and you really want to dive into your interests. You know, if you really like anime, start drawing, start thinking of stories, start writing scripts. If you think rap music is the best, you know, get that Fruity Loop subscription, learn some music theory, do different stuff. But as you try these different things and just go for it, however affordable as possible, then eventually you'll kind of find that niche that you really want to gun for and go straight forward. So streaming has been a big part of my life the last 10 years or so, and it's really led me to some crazy places. And I can't wait until all these new things that I'm learning lead me to other crazy places. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry it was a long, rambling thing, but I just kind of wanted to get out, you know, how I got from a place where I just had no clue where I was going or what I was doing and to where I am now. And I'm not saying that I'm some great success, billionaire, zillionaire. Honestly, that stuff isn't really that important to me. I just want to be able to keep creating, keep doing stuff, and most importantly, keep growing. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're here for tech stuff and stuff like that, playlist of stream tech tutorials. If you want more vlogs, slice of life stuff, I got it here. Catch you on the next one.